Hello everyone! I hope that you're doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Shikha and I welcome you to my channel. In this one I want to speak to you about a question that a particular viewer asked me, and I don't know if I actually am the best person to answer this, but I wanted to try because she's very sweet about it and she really wanted an answer. I was like, alright, of course, if you're going to ask so nicely, I have to do it. And it was something to do with, how do INFJs behave with their best friends? There are some issues with this particular statement, a couple of issues I would say. The first thing being that I feel like INFJs might have lots of good friends, but it's very rare for them to have a best friend. Maybe you're different actually, maybe I'm just speaking for myself, so I will just speak for myself. I have lots of really good friends, and actually I have some that are really good. I would say they're at the top of the pyramid, right? And I would say there's maybe 4 or 5 of them, women who are just precious to me. My sister's included in that, and I love them and I would do anything for them, and I'm very loyal to them and I love them, but I've never actually, when I'm talking to normal people off the street, I'll be like, yeah, she's one of my best friends, but she's one of my best friends. She's not my bestie. She's not one of the epitome of my friendship, right? She's not at the top of the pyramid because there isn't a peak at the top of the pyramid, for me at least, and that's how I look at it, is that there is actually a plateau at the top of the pyramid, and there's about 4 or 5 people on top of that pyramid, and those are all my good friends, my best friends. And then there's other people that I know that are friends, that are not best friends, but good friends. And then again, the pyramid goes down a little bit further, and then there's friends, and then there's acquaintances and all that stuff. And so maybe actually I am weird in that manner. Maybe there are INFJs out there who have particular friends who are besties, who are like their best friends, that they would kill for them. And that's the one person that they hang out with, and the one person that they talk to, and the one person that they love, and the one person that they admire and they're loyal to, right? So there could be definitely exceptions to the rule, but for me particularly it's not the case. I've never ever had just one best friend ever. Even when I was younger, I always had 2 or 3 friends that were from different circles, and that's another point, is that we never have one friend. We might have one best friend in this circle, but then we'll have another best friend that's from that other circle. So for me as well, I always was part of many different circles, even from when I was a child, and I've done videos on this, that we usually have many different circles that we're part of, because we're like a chameleon, with techies, I'm a techie, with the nerds, I'm a nerd, with the manga lovers, I'm a manga lover, with the people who love fashion, I'm a little bit of a fashionista, tiny little bit, I could speak about it. And so we kind of mold ourselves to the people that are around us. And so for me particularly, as I said, when I was a child, I had a best friend in one circle, and she was really a good friend of mine in one circle, and she was in a different class. And then I had a best friend in my class, a couple of best friends, 2, 3, who were in my class and were really good friends of mine, and I hung out with them when I was in my class. And then I had another best friend when I went to play badminton. She was my best friend there, because that's when I played badminton with her, and she was my good friend there. And then I had another best friend who was my best friend when we were in my apartment building and I was playing with the kids downstairs, and she was my best friend there, right? And so it kind of is interesting, because when I look back upon it now, I'm exactly the same here as well when I'm in my 30s, where I have best friends in different circles. So I have a best friend who's my best friend when I speak to her about when I'm in Thailand, and then I have a best friend when I am in Canada, and then I have a best friend when I'm just online friends wise, and then things like that. So kind of we have them sprinkled around in all these different arenas. I wouldn't say that one of them is more than the other though. They're all best friends. They're all friends of mine, right? I think it might be confusing to people, of course, because when you say best friend, of course, then it means best out of the all. It's at the top of the pyramid, that one person. And I'm sure there are people out there, maybe even INFJs, who have that. But I do notice, because we have a tendency, again, to be chameleons, to have friends in a lot of different circles. We have best friends in a lot of different circles. We have people that we like and admire in a lot of different circles. I might not be best friends with someone, but I really like and admire them, and I appreciate them and I learn from them. So that's part of why I found this question a little bit difficult. So that's the preamble to this. But how do we treat our best friends is obviously the question she asked. And so now that I've given my opinion on why best friends is such a horrible term for people, I don't like it, let me move on to how I would treat a friend who is a bestie, who is someone that I really care about. Now, as with everyone, it doesn't matter if it's a best friend or if it's a not best friend or whatever. If it's a person that we really care about, we are extremely loyal to them. Loyal to a T, loyal to a fault, loyal in a way that we would do anything and everything for them. And if anyone, and this is a big thing with me, if anyone says anything bad about my friend, my best friends, my good friends, I am on the person like ants on rice or ants on sugar or something like that. You know, I'm a lion, and I can't bear it. Like, it's kind of interesting because my parents would always say this about me. They're like, I can't even say anything bad about your brother or sister to you because you just freak out. You just kind of start yelling and start defending them. And I'm like, I'm the parent. I'm allowed to say things about them. But that's how we are when we're loyal. We're just like, we can't hear anything bad about them. We're always defending them. We're always taking care of them. If they get sick, we want to take care of them. If they're unhappy, we want to take care of them. If they feel like they're doing something, if we see them doing something wrong, then we want to make sure that we take care of it and we inform them of it. We want to make sure all the time that we improve them. We want to make sure all the time that we are on their side. We always want to be spending time with them. Obviously, quality time is one of our love languages, and so we always want to spend time with them. Quality time, not quantity time. And these are all the different ways that we show the person that we really care about them. Unfortunately, what happens in a lot of cases is that maybe sometimes the person understands, and I know I'm grateful enough that I have friends that understand how much I care about them and how much I devote my time to them. But sometimes they might not understand that. And so you spend all this time, and effort on this person, and they betray your trust. And that's one of the reasons why I find that a lot of INFJs are alone and don't have a lot of friends. In fact, don't have any friends at all because, they give and give and give. And if you remember, takers will just take. And they'll keep on taking without giving anything back to you, or not even acknowledging the fact that you gave, or not even being kind to you in turn, actually demeaning you. And of course, that means that we have to door slam and get rid of that person. And unfortunately, I've noticed that a lot in my life as well, is that I noticed the pattern in the past. I don't do this anymore, of course, because I don't over give anymore. I only give a certain amount that I'm comfortable with. And if the other person doesn't reciprocate, that's okay. It doesn't matter to me because I've only given the amount that I'm comfortable with. I don't over give anymore. I will not. This is my big rule now. And if you're a young INFJ listening, remember that this should be your rule as well. Do not over give anymore. Give a certain amount and then lean back a little bit and relax. You don't need to overgive in order for them to love you. You don't need to overgive in order for them to admire you, in order for them to be friends with you, in order for them to be around you. It's okay, yeah? And so, again, as I said, we overgive and then we door slam. And so I've noticed, as I said, in the past, I used to overgive, and then something would happen, and then my friendship with that person would break. I would door slam, and then I would lose that person from my life. And this happened over and over again until I realized what I was doing wrong. Is that, be loyal, boom, I would tell myself. Be loyal, be kind, be generous with your time and do whatever you need to do. But realize that that doesn't mean that the person is going to give back to you. It doesn't mean that the person will always understand and appreciate what you're doing for them. It doesn't mean any of that stuff, right? And so now, whenever I'm with my friends or my friendship, I realize that I'm giving just for the sake of giving, not because I want to receive in turn. I'll give as much as I am comfortable giving, knowing that I might never ever receive anything back. That is the point of this whole situation. That's why I wanted to do this video, is because you might treat your friends in many different ways, but realize for your own sake, for your own sanity, for your own sanity, I would say, is that don't overgive, don't expect to receive anything in return, and don't kill yourself, basically. Like, don't give so much that you deteriorate in health because you're trying to take care of this other person. Just be careful to maintain your boundaries, even with friends. Even with friends. even if they're the best person on the planet and you think so highly of them and they're your best friend in the world and you know they would never hurt you, still make sure to maintain your boundaries. Understand that you cannot kill yourself. You can't overextend yourself for anyone. You shouldn't overextend yourself for anyone. Yeah? It's just, no matter who they are. And this is just not so that we can create boundaries around us or we can kind of create walls around us. It's so that we can take care of ourselves. Right? And I think that's one of the reasons why I find INFJs door slam their friends so often, is because they do. They give, they get nothing in return, they get disappointed and feel betrayed, and then they door slam. Well, it was your own fault. You started off giving and giving and giving and giving. Stop it. Yeah? Make sure you give just enough. And if the person wants to reciprocate, great. If they don't, that's it. You don't door slam. You just realize that that's how people are. That they're just too busy with their own things in order to even care or understand that they should or must give something back to you. So those are some of my viewpoints on friendships. I'm sure there's a lot more I can say on the subject, but let me know, whoever asked this question, if this was useful or helpful. If not, then ask a more specific question and I'll answer it in the next video or whenever I have a chance next. Again, thank you so much for all the questions and the inquiries and the support. I'm really grateful. And if you are interested, I have just created a course on boundaries, boundaries101.com. You can go check it out. The link is in the description below also. And again, thank you so much for your support. I shall see you the next time around. Bye for now.